Hi and welcome to Element Z3 Tales from Africa. Why the clouds sit on top of the hill. Many years ago, when the earth was still new and fresh, there was an old gogo who sold the best soup at the market. Everyone loved her soup. It was so tasty that the wild animals came from far and wide to enjoy her delicious soup. Nobody knew the old Gogo's name or where she lived, but the animals didn't care. All they could think about was the delicious soup. Every day, the Gogo came to the market carrying a beautiful clay pot on her head, full of her hot, tasty soup. Every day, the animals would hurry to the market, and every day they bought a bowl of the Gogo's soup, which they gobbled up while it was still hot. Every day it would not take long for the go-go soup to be sold out, and she would pick up her beautiful clay pot, put it on her head, and leave the market. Near the market lived a curious monkey. Her name was Kensani. She loved the soup that the go-go brought to the market every day, and she was often the Gogo's first customer for a bowl of the delicious hot soup. One day, Kensani was watching the Gogo as she made her way to the market. I wonder where that Gogo comes from, she thought to herself. If I knew where the soup came from, then I could go and get some whenever I wanted. Kensani watched the Gogo all day. When she had sold out her delicious soup, picked up her beautiful clay pot, put it on her head, and left the market, Kensani decided to follow her. The Gogo walked and walked for a very long time. She walked up a steep hill and through a thick jungle, and all this time Kensani followed slightly behind her. Soon it started to get dark, and Kensani was afraid. But the thought of the Gogo's delicious hot soup made her feel brave, and she kept on going. At last, the Gogo came to a small mud hut on the top of a high hill. Kansani sneaked up to the entrance to the hut and peeped in. There, in the middle of the floor, sat a big black podgy pot. Wow! Whispered Kensani to herself. That podgy is bigger than me. She watched as the Gogo left the hut to go down to the river to fetch water. I'm so tired and hungry after that long walk. I'll quickly steal some of Gogo's delicious hot soup before she returns. Kensani quickly ran across the floor and stood on her hind legs so that she could see into the potji. But when she looked into the potji, it was empty. Kensani could not believe her bad luck. She had come so far and was so tired, and hungry. Just then, the gogo came back from the river, and Kensani had to quickly hide away. The gogo sat next to the big black podgy and softly started to sing. Magic podgy, make hot soup for me. Make hot soup for me. Make delicious soup for me to sell. Make delicious soup for me to sell. And for the animals to buy. And for the animals to buy. Magic podgy. Steam started to rise out the podgy, and the smell of delicious soup soon filled the room. Kensani's stomach started growling. She was so hungry. Soon the room was full of steam, which escaped out the open doorway out into the night. The gogo got up and stretched her legs. She walked out of the hut to go and fetch the beautiful clay pot she put her soup into. As soon as she was out of the sight, Kensani ran over to the podgy. But when she looked under the podgy, there was no fire. That is impossible, she said to herself. How can there be soup with no fire? She stretched up on her hind legs to look into the podgy. And sure enough, it was full of delicious hot soup. I'll just have a little taste, said Kensani, and she reached into the podgy with a spoon. Just as she was about to scoop a spoonful of delicious hot soup, the gogo walked in and saw Kensani helping herself to the soup. Oh, 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 she cried. You naughty little monkey. Kensani dashed for the door and ran as fast as her little legs could take her. She ran and ran till she finally reached her home. Mom, Dad, she cried out. Her parents came running out to her and she jumped into her mother's arms. She told her parents the whole story, all about the gogo, all about the soup, and all about the magic podgy. They all looked over towards the hill, and there they could still see the steam forming clouds at the top of the hill. Yes, we see the steam of the magic podgy, they said. From then on, the gogo never came back to the market again. The animals all whispered the story of the magic podgy to each other. They were all terrified of the magic of the podgy that could cook without fire. Everyone was too frightened to go up to the top of that hill. But every time the clouds gathered at the top of the hill, the animals all said, Look, there is steam from the magic podgy. I will leave you with the cue cards to arrange the story. You might use it as a storytelling or arranging the sequence as per the listening skills. Kindly do stay tuned. Till then, like, share, subscribe, and yes, please do not forget to continue to shower your love, as it's a great motivation for every like, share, and subscribe. Till then, take care. Thank you.